All right, Shalom, Shalom, Kahalayim La, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash, honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone, who will teach well. Must peace, love, and salutations to the whole elect, pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Salaki, I got a phone call and stopped my screen recording. I don't understand why when I put my phone on D&D, it still stops me from recording. But I'm going to continue on through the spirit, and Lord willing, this lesson be edifying. I forgot what I was thinking. Let's see. It says the simple summary. Obadiah 1:18 is saying Israel will rise in strength and completely defeat Edom, leaving nothing behind, leaving no one behind. That's the key. Because Edomites are gonna be completely done away with. Because of your crimes that you have done, the Most High is gonna destroy you forever. Your nation is not gonna exist anymore. And this is coming out of the mouth of the Most High through his prophets, man. So this is not our plan. This is what the Lord is going to do. His name is Yahweh. His son's name is Yahweh Shai. So the true God of the Bible is going to put an end to this nation that he created to be the wicked. Because you have served your purpose. You have done what you were supposed to do. And now the Most High is going to turn around and judge you for all the things that he created you to do. Now, Esau, today, they're trying to say that the Edomites are done away with, that the Edomites are already extinct. But that's not true. You know, we have identified who the Edomites are. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. They are the Edomites. But they don't claim that they're Edomites. They want to escape their history. They want to escape their heritage. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, they're being exposed. The scripture says the man of sin shall be revealed. And the Lord is revealing who the man of sin is. The Lord is revealing who Esau, Edom is. And they didn't want their history to come to the light. They pretend they want to be everybody else but an Edomite now. This is the book of Ecclesiastes 4:16. It says, "There is no end of all the people, even all that have been before them. They also that come after shall not rejoice in him. Surely this also is vanity and vexation of spirit." So there is no end of all people. You know, the nations, all of the nations that the Most High created are still on this earth. The time of Esau's extinction has not come yet. That's going to come when Israel takes over, the nation of Israel. The true descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So going back to here, because they claim that Esau is extinct, but there's no history of showing that. There's no history of Esau ever going extinct or being totally destroyed. So it's a simple summary. Obadiah 1:18 is saying Israel will rise in strength and completely defeat Edom, leaving nothing or no one behind. It says, if you want, I can explain the historical background between Israel and Edom. It helps make the verse more even clearer. So I said yes, and it says, to really understand Obadiah, the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 18, the history between Israel and Edom is key. It's a long, tense family story. 1, they were brother nations. The conflict goes all the way back to Jacob and Esau, twins in Genesis, because even within Rebecca's, I believe Rebecca, is it Rebecca? Even in their mother's womb, they was fighting against each other. Two nations, two separate nations. Jacob is the ancestor of Israel. Esau is the ancestor of Edom. So Israel and Edom are closely related, but rivalry started early even before birth, according to the story. Long history of conflict. Over centuries, the two nations had repeated tensions. Edom often opposed or resisted Israel. There were periods of war, control, and rebellion. Even when Israel was strong, Edom remained hostile. 3. The key event, Jerusalem fall. The biggest issue behind Obadiah comes from when Jerusalem was attacked around 586 BCE by Babylon, the Babylonians. Then instead of helping, Edom stood by and watched, rejoiced at Judah's destruction, possibly helped plunder the city or capture survivors. This betrayal is condemned strongly in Obadiah. It says why Obadiah's message is so intense. Because of that betrayal, Obadiah declares Edom will be judged and destroyed. Israel will be restored and victorious. So in verse 31, chapter 1, so in verse 118, Israel is the fire, Esau stubble. It's not random violence, it's justice for betrayal in the prophet's view. The bigger theme. The book reflects a large biblical idea. Nations are accountable for how they treat others, especially in times of crisis. Pride and cruelty will eventually lead to downfall. Simple way to see it. Think of it like this. Two related nations. One falls into disaster and the other mocks and takes advantage instead of helping. Obadiah says that betrayal won't go unpunished. See? And there's history. Let's go to an Edomites. That's why these devils want to hide from this heritage of being an Edomite. They don't want to be an Edomite because they know what the prophecy says about Edom. This is the book of 1 Esdras chapter 4 verse 45. It says, Thou also hast vowed to build up the temple which the Edomites burned when Judea was made desolate by the Chaldees. See, the Chaldees are the Babylonians. See? So even in the scriptures it tells you the history of Edom burning our temple. Obadiah chapter 4 verse 50. It says the same chapter a little further down. It says, and that all the country which they hold should be free without tribute, and that the Edomites should give over the villages of the Jews which then they held. See? So there's some history about, the Edomites taking over some land or villages that they're from the nation of Israel. So Obadiah chapter 1 verse 18 tells a beautiful story how our main enemy, the main antagonist against the nation of Israel is going to be completely destroyed. And today we can't wait till this to transpire because, even now Esau is making our life literally a living hell. He wants to put a RFID micro C-hip inside of you. He wants to track your every move. He wants total control over your life. He wants control over your finances. He wants to put you in the 15-minute city/zone. You put a C-hip inside of you. Give you a universal based income. Give you fake food every month. And treat you like a literal lab rat. You want to strip you of all of your so-called God-given rights and make you an eternal slave under his technocracy. That's what he's bringing to pass. So these devils must be stopped. We need Yahweh Bahasham Yahushua to put an end to this. And that's what we cannot wait for. The Lord to put an end to this shit, man. To put an end to him. The scripture says, arise, you disappoint him. We want the Lord to corrupt and destroy these devil's plans, which that's what he's going to do. Psalm 17 and 13, it says, arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him. Cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So we want the Lord to deliver us, man. Stop him. Put an end to him. Because he must be stopped. The scripture says, no flesh shall be saved. verse 20. And except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he hath chosen, he hath shortened the days. So the Lord has to shorten the days, or man, this is going to be, no flesh is going to be here to be delivered. If Esau continues how he's going, man. So that's why we need salvation. We want the Lord to put an end to this man, you know. So Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm gonna close it out by giving all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Esau, you're gonna be extinct. So with that, Lord willing, this is edifying. Till next time, I'll say Shalom.